You know that person who always backs out of plans at the last minute. The one who's suddenly exhausted, not feeling well, or says, maybe another time. That person isn't pushing people away. They're guarding something important. And if the idea of a quiet night at home in comfortable clothes sounds more exciting than any night out, this video is probably about you. You're not strange for feeling that way. You're just rarely understood. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who genuinely love staying at home. The ones often labeled as boring, antisocial, or unmotivated. But psychology tells a very different story. Here's the difference most people miss. Extroverts regain energy through social interaction. Crowded rooms, conversations, movement, that's what fuels them. But introverts and solitude-oriented people recharge in silence. Every interaction, even enjoyable ones, slowly drains their mental battery. And home is the only place where that energy actually comes back. Psychologists refer to this as optimal arousal theory. Some nervous systems crave stimulation. Others function best with very little of it. This isn't fear. It isn't laziness. It's simply how the brain is wired. But introversion isn't the whole story. For many people, staying home provides something the outside world can't. Control. Outside, everything is unpredictable. Noise, strangers, sudden changes, forced conversations that mean nothing. At home, you decide the lighting, the sound, the pace. For people with anxiety or high sensitivity, that sense of control isn't comfort. It's regulation. Sometimes, it's survival. Here's something most people don't expect. Research shows that people who enjoy solitude tend to be more creative, more reflective, better at solving complex problems. Staying home doesn't mean doing nothing. It's where ideas form, where clarity appears, not in loud spaces filled with distractions, but in quiet rooms, late at night, when thoughts finally have space to finish themselves. And let's be honest, modern culture glorifies being everywhere, all the time. Parties, events, photos that prove you're living. But what if your version of a good life looks different? A warm meal, a documentary, no expectations, no obligations. That isn't sadness. That's self-awareness. Still, not everyone stays home for healthy reasons. Some people are pulled inward by social anxiety, past trauma, or depression that quietly asks, what's the point? For them, home can become both a safe place and a trap. That's why the real question matters. Do you stay home because it restores you, or because leaving feels overwhelming? One is peace. The other is hiding. But for people who truly love staying in, they aren't missing out on life. They're experiencing it differently. They find joy in small rituals. Morning coffee. The same seat on the couch. The way sunlight moves across the room in the evening. Details most people rush past. Psychologists call this a low stimulation preference. These individuals don't need constant input from the world. Their inner world already provides enough richness. So if you turn down invitations without guilt, if a solo weekend feels fulfilling, if you'd rather revisit something familiar than chase new experiences, you're not broken. You're wired for depth instead of noise, for peace instead of performance. Tell me, do you prefer staying home? Or do you think people like this are just avoiding life? And if you want to understand parts of yourself most people never talk about. The next video will explain more than you expect. Click it. You'll see yourself differently.